Welcome to BaytBushra. I'm Bushra and this is my home. Today we're gonna make tahini. Tahini is a very essential ingredient in a lot of my cooking and a lot of Middle Eastern cuisine. It is a sesame seed paste, and for me I don't find really a point in making it all the time because I can just easily buy it pre-made from the store. But I realize a lot of people who, especially the ones who have requested this video, a lot of people don't have tahini readily available in their grocery stores, so you can easily and very cheaply home make it. It's gonna come out creamier and tastier than the store-bought version anyway, so let's get going. The first thing you're going to do is to dry roast your sesame seeds. Dry roasting means you're not gonna add any oil to it. While you can do this step in the oven, I prefer to do it on the stove because I can keep my eyes on the sesame seeds. They are small, and so you can watch them turning into this golden caramel color, and that's when you know they're done. So it's just starting to get there. You see some of the seeds are actually turning more brownish. This takes about 4 minutes. The sesame seeds are now releasing a nutty, sweet, almost vanilla-like aroma, and they smell really fantastic. This is the color we're at now. And I've taken the sesame seeds off the stove and into this glass Pyrex so they can cool. Just a side-by-side comparison. This is the original color of the sesame seeds, and this is what they look like when they've been toasted. So I've just put my sesame seeds into the processor and I'm going to process this for a couple minutes. If you've ever made peanut butter, it's the same idea like peanut butter. It needs a few minutes, but it should get there. Just trust the process. And we're gonna make some tahini. Right, so as you can see, it's kind of stopped moving. That's my indication that I should go in. First of all, push these down, and I'm actually gonna add a couple tablespoons of a neutral oil. So there's some oil in there just to help it move along. You don't need to put oil if you don't want to, but you're not gonna get the same store-bought consistency. But I'm just gonna blend it here. So I had a problem, and it's that my, what is this thing called? Food processor is too big for the amount of like sesame seeds that I have in there. So actually I'm toasting some more and I'm gonna add that in there and then we'll get blending again. So I've just added the sesame seeds, now the fresh ones, into my food processor. Essentially now I've made a double batch, but that happens a lot in my kitchen anyway, so I'm not phased. This is what it's like to cook with me really in the kitchen in real life. Okay, let's do this. So realistically, this took about 10 minutes, and I want to show you what it looks like now. You can store your tahini in a closed container in the fridge for up to 1 month. It will separate, even if you leave it in your cupboard, it will separate. Even the store-bought ones do separate. That's because, like with any natural nut or seed butter, the oil separates from the rest of the butter. Just give it a nice stir before you use it. So what are you going to use it in? Well, you can use tahini in my harissa recipe. You can use it in my, what is that word? Sfiha recipe. You can use it in the hummus recipe. There are a few recipes in which you can use your freshly made tahini. Today I'm going to give you a sweet recipe that very much includes basically sesame seed paste, and that recipe is called halva or halawe. I say halawe, that's the way I say it. Halawe is traditionally made, it's a Turkish sesame seed dessert thing, spread. I'm not really sure what to call it. I eat it with bread, or I've seen other people now more recently, they put it into cookies and you can put it into cakes and things. I actually like it on peanut butter toast, so I'll have the toast with the peanut butter and then a thin layer of halawe. Traditionally halawe is made on the stove with a candy thermometer and some syrup, and then you like raise the temperature and then you do all this fun stuff. But today I'm going to give you a shortcut that doesn't involve any stove or heating mixture at all. What you need is some powdered milk, some powdered sugar, and you can do some pistachios for garnish. I don't have pistachios, I just used them yesterday when I was making my biscotti recipe. Check that out if you did not already. The biscotti recipe is really good. So I use my pistachios in that, so instead I'm gonna try to marble some vanilla halawe and some chocolate halawe, and I'll try to marble that together. This recipe is not my recipe, it is actually Sosan's recipe from chefindisguise.com. She gave me permission to use it today, and so thank you, Sosan. It seems really, really simple and easy. You just mix all the ingredients together, and I'll show you how to make it now. Just gonna pour this. It's about 2 cups. You guys, this is my tahini. Here it is. And what are we gonna do with it now? We're gonna add our other ingredients. And there we have vanilla, and here is some orange blossom water, about a teaspoon of each. And now I'm just gonna mix this right up. You want to get to about a consistency that lets you hold, like if you squeeze the mixture together, it's gonna hold its shape. And what I'm gonna do is, I actually have this prepared, this round plate prepared. I'm gonna put some of the halva recipe, and I'm gonna reserve some, and then I'm gonna mix the rest of this with a little bit of cocoa butter. I'm mixing this until I don't see any more of the lighter colored halva, because I don't want to confuse it. I want it to be very stark marbly, and I wish you guys could smell this. It smells heavenly. If you've never had halva before, I had a non-Arab friend try it for the first time a few weeks back, and she went crazy over it. It is not a low-calorie food. I used to eat my halwa straight out of the jar. My dad used to have to hide it from me. I was that child. I've used the parchment paper because I wanted to just be able to pull it out easily after we refrigerate it. Try to do like a type of marbling effect and just pack it in all the way. The last thing you want to do is put your halwa into the fridge for a minimum of 2 hours. Overnight is preferred. And when it's properly chilled, take it out, you flip it over, you remove the parchment, and you enjoy your homemade halwa. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, let me know by giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comment section below. The link for the recipe and all of the directions is in the description box below as usual, and I will see you next time, inshallah.